Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. We have to be bold. Have to be bold. And maybe it's my season, maybe it's your season. I don't know, to be bold. But last week, I had to be bold in my communication. And most of the time, we think that when we don't say something, when someone said something, we think like, oh, okay, I'm not in agreement with them. I'm not in agreement with them because I'm not saying anything. But when I went to church on Sunday, we had this guest speaker, and his name was like Victor something. I can't remember his last name, but he was a professional boxer. And he was saying how he was sitting, I'm gonna guess at dinner somewhere, and this guy was just like cussing. And he told the guy, like, you need to be quiet. But he said in much worse terms, but he's basically telling him, be quiet. You don't talk. He's like, you don't talk around my wife like that. I said, but it just goes to show that we as Christians have gotten comfortable with the world because we say like, oh, I'm not doing it, so it's fine. Or yeah, basically, I guess that I'm not doing it, so it's fine, or it's not happening around me, so it's fine. And I just believe the Lord is saying, no, you have to speak up, especially when it's around you. But when you're witnessing it, maybe not in the same vicinity, but you're watching it on TV, it's like you need to speak out about it. You need to, of course, be in prayer always. But yeah, like I was saying, the Lord allowed me, allowed me to be in a situation where I can no longer be quiet. Like this person just kept talking about something that the Lord was like, you're not going to be a part of that. But I was just like, well, they hadn't really said anything, so why do I need to assert myself and assume or whatever the case may be? And the Lord's like, no, it's time for you to speak up and say. And I did, and the person, of course, was offended because they had been talking around me all the time, and I just was thinking, okay, I'm not saying anything, I'm not in agreement, so it's fine. And the Lord just convicted me right in that moment. It's like, no, you need to stand up and you need to say something. And it may not always be something that contradicts the word of God. It could just be anything, like anything the Lord has not called you to be a part of. So it may be, and I don't want to say that, but maybe you have to turn down a group that you used to go to, or like I said, it could be anything. And I don't want to name anything specifically because oftentimes we say, well, I didn't hear what my situation is, so maybe that's not talking to me. And you know exactly what your situation is, and you know if the Lord is calling you to become more bold in your speech and also in your actions. So don't try to excuse it like I was doing, because I was like, well, Lord, they haven't really said anything, so I would just be stepping out of bounds, doing this, basically assuming. And the Lord's like, you're just making an excuse. And oftentimes that's what we do when we don't want to be bold, when we want to not ruffle any feathers. And not saying that we should go in and be at odds with everybody. Like, no, that's not what the Lord is calling you to do. He wants you to be at peace with your brethren, like be at peace with people. However, if he is calling you to do something, it's more important for you to be obeying of him instead of trying to please a crowd. And we know what the word says about, should I please God or should I please man? And we know what's going to follow of leading, what's going to follow if we're deciding to follow after man instead of following after the Lord. And so of course I can ramble and keep talking, but I think you get what I'm saying. Is like, I believe the Lord is calling us to a time where we need to just be bold in our actions and also in our words, because that's what he's calling you to do. So thank you so much for watching this video. Like I always say, se cambio que quieres ver en otros. Until next time. Bye.